Frank. Blink of an eye, things have gone amok.
What a pansy.
Just a bit outside.
Sometimes it may be good, sometimes it may be shit.
Welcome back, guys. We're here. We're doing it. Tea Time 103. Brian, how are you?
I'm doing good. It's a Good Friday. Chilling with my co-host Jason here. Looking forward to the weekend.
It is a Good Friday. It's a great Friday, in fact.
Yes, great Friday.
They should change that to Great
Love
Friday.
it.
Not good. It's great. Well, we're here. We're doing it. Tea Time 103. This episode name is called the OG Warriors. And the reason why is because we've got two fine and distinguished gentlemen, veterans, that have been in this league a long time. Sean, he, him, Worrell, and Ryan Dahl of Beauty and the Beast. We still don't know who is who.
No.
Maybe we'll find out later on this episode. We'll see. But we are happy to have them on as guests. Listen, guys, this is a part-time job for us. So we're not great at it, but, you know, it seems that you guys are liking it. And we're going to try to get these out every Monday before league play. We're just trying to give the fans what they want. I mean, are you still dedicated to this, Brian, as much as I am?
Absolutely.
I don't like your hesitation at all.
I mean, the fans love it. We'll keep doing this as long as people like it. We got a lot of views.
It'll be easy to tell by the views.
Yeah.
If you don't like it.
Once we see the views start clicking down, we're like, okay, maybe we're not as good as we think we are.
Yeah. Want to say thank you to Steve Talon for being last week's guest. We appreciate you coming on. And listen, first episode, let's get a view count update. First episode has 55 views.
Whoa.
Now, I'm not a mathematician, but there's only 24 guys in the league, correct?
There's only 24.
Okay, so I probably make up about 10 of those views. So 45, that's still a lot.
There are 3 random people, too, that are on the list that get the email for. So take that down. So maybe 10 other people that we're not sure who listened to it. Well,
listen, first episode, 55 views. Second episode has 50 views. This is as of Good Friday, about 2 o'clock, right? Shouldn't YouTube be sending us some sort of plaque?
I think that's how many views we can start quitting our job and doing this full time.
Yeah, do we get royalties? Where are you pocketing them?
Yeah, because it's on my account. That's why I've been meaning to say that this new account that you set up, that's why I keep coming back. Exactly. That's why I keep telling you there's been errors.
Oh, man. Okay. Well, listen, you guys seem to like it. You're craving more. We're still open for feedback. I'm kicking tires about turning this into a video podcast. That's really easy for me to say, more work for Brian, so of course I'm going to say it. But on the note of errors and omissions that you were just saying.
Yeah, there's a couple things that our viewers pointed out to us. One was Jason called me out last week by not being in the putting contest that a couple people are in within the league. It's a couple people, I think it's like 10 people now or something in it.
It's a good amount.
And I said that I hit a lot of greens, but Kevin Stroll said that Dave Steele actually is ahead of me. And in the last 20 rounds, I ranked 5th, which is pretty bad because that's usually my strong point of the golf game. So what he's saying is technically I have no excuse not to be in it. But we all know that soon I'll find a game. But right now I just suck. And then...
hold on. Doesn't Dave Steele's name sound like a porn name? Right? Like if you were like Dave Steele.
Is it what didn't they say your porn name is your middle name and then what your street you live on or your dog name or your dog? Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah. I don't know if it's dog name. I think it's your middle name plus the street sign, right? That you grew up on. The street name.
Okay.
So I would be Robert Golfview Terrace.
Oh,
that's dumb.
Yeah, that's Andrew.
That's
Pine.
just me flicking myself the whole time.
You like to play with yourself a lot, huh? But the other error that we had here was Steve Talon. He doesn't have any captain wins, but he has 4 cup wins in the 10 events that he's played. So didn't have that stat for Steve, for everybody on there, but he does have cup wins on it.
He did challenge us on that.
He did.
So I'm glad he did.
So we had to set the record straight.
Good. Appreciate that. Thank you, Brian. Did you guys see that murder in public, a broad daylight of Tony's swing on Toast, Ghost, and Roast? Oh my goodness! Oh, we got to put him on S Watch.
Got called by the FBI because of that.
Oh Jesus!
They had questions.
This is another great plug for, if you haven't read it, please go and read it. Stroll's new section, Toast, Ghost, and Roast. I think you guys kind of get it by the name of the title, but it's a toast. You're toasting to what's good, ghosting what's not there, and roasting is enter Tony's swing. And wow. So, Brian and I, when we were looking at what to talk about during this week, we were like, okay, are we going to do a deep dive on the similarities and really break down and see what we can find between the two? And the biggest takeaway we came out with is that both guys have hips that are doing absolutely nothing helpful. So you might want to work on that. Yeah. But thank you to Stroll, weekly newsletter. If you haven't, check it out. Go check it out. He does a great job. He's been doing it for a long time, so we appreciate you with that. Do you want to know who is sponsoring and funding this episode, Brian?
Oh, who?
Who's
paying the bills?
Divorced Dads Counseling Services. Okay? Because your emotional baggage shouldn't get full custody. Divorced Dads Counseling Services.
I'm just happy that we have sponsors because at least this is making it worthwhile to buy a case of beer a week.
Right?
Yeah.
Is that where the royalty money's going?
That's where it's going. That's why the fridge is stocked.
It is stocked.
Ready to go for our guests.
You do have a nice stocked fridge. I will give you that for sure. Of liquids.
Yes.
A lot of liquids.
Not a lot of food.
That is a bachelor's
There's
fridge.
There's a lot of condiments. I've
Hold
had
the mints. All right.
I've had a bottle of ketchup expire on me before because I didn't use it quick enough.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I think it's
There's
fair.
probably other things that are expired too.
Well, maybe that'll be a new segment.
Yeah.
Course was in great condition. I think it's still in great condition. It was a little windier and a little cloudy last week, which made it feel colder, even though it was plus 10 degrees over week 1. The greens are running true. Do you like the way the greens are rolling?
They're rolling. They're rolling quick. And some of those pin locations where I don't think I've ever seen those pins tucked behind a lot of those bunkers, like 9 back in that left corner. I don't think I've ever seen it back there.
Yeah, those guys were having a bad day when they picked those pins.
Yeah.
But we also had a good turnout, and there was good banter at the clubhouse afterwards last week. Don't be a boner. Just tell your significant other to, quote, don't worry about when daddy is coming home, unquote. That works like a charm for me 60% of the time. It works every time. So, but we would like to see you guys, after. But we had a good time. It was fun. It was fun.
Yeah, it was good. Shout out to, was it Maria?
Maria.
In the clubhouse. Serving some Yinglings, America's oldest brewery. It was delicious and good camaraderie.
Drinking a Yingling right now.
So
Tell me about the matches, Brian.
Yeah, let's look at the matches here. So last week, so we'll look at the standings. We have a 3-way tie for first place. There's 3 undefeated teams: Front Porch Fun Bags, Bogey Bros, Different Strokes. However, Front Porch Fun Bags and Different Strokes are playing each other this week. So one of those teams could get their first loss or maybe a tie. As far as who is winless this year, 3+ specialists, Dirty Birds, 4 for 3, and yours truly, Par Than Bar, me and Jordan. So we're fighting. We're going to try to look for our win next week. But TGL standings, Kevin Stroll's leading the way with Sean close by on it. And just a couple stats for our match. Our largest margin of victory, we had Bogey Bros over the King and Duck, which was 8. So that's even higher than last week's stat of 7. And just some score plugs. Highest gross, we had Danny.
That tracks.
At a 55, which kind of sees why Bogey Bros won by that much. But maybe he was still thinking he was on vacation in Mexico, and that cold weather probably hurt him a little bit.
Too many Yinglings.
Yeah, too many Yinglings. And then highest net goes Danny also. Then lowest gross, Kevin Stroll at 32, and low net was Sean at 32. It takes home the TGL event, Whiny Old Men Open. Or no, it's We Play Rain or Snow Open. That was it.
Yes, you said Stroll 32, but you meant to say Stroll 38.
Yeah.
I don't want that on errors and omissions next week.
True.
So I got you already, partner.
Hey, you're looking out for me.
I got you.
Checking it out.
Yep.
And then
Appreciate
lastly, pay your dues. Don't have Jason come. I'm gonna send Jason after everybody. As scary as that sounds.
I'm gonna bite your kneecaps.
he'll bite. Yes. Wasn't expecting that, but we'll just make sure you pay the dues. That's pretty much it. But
Please and thanks.
yeah, when looking at next week, looks like we should be a little warmer. I think 65 degrees, partly cloudy, so we should be good.
What's the AQI looking like? Doesn't that stand for air quality index? What does that even fucking mean?
You just make up shit.
Like, does one guy go out there and like lick his finger and put it up and go 72?
It's how much dust passes through a potential filter on it.
Is that what it really is?
No idea.
Oh my god, that sounded so good. That really sounded good though. I thought it was.
Nah, we don't have to worry about it. There's no wildfires going on.
Tom
Remember a couple
Bryant's
years ago
killing
when
over
we had
here.
that smoke and everything. But next week's matches, we have our 410 match, Dirty Birds versus Beauty and the Beast. 420, Different Strokes versus Front Porch Fun Bags. 430, 3-putt Specialist versus King and Duck. 440, Parlin Bar versus 443. And 450, Bogey Bros versus Big Gulps. And then the final match taking us home is I Like Big Putts versus Beaver Party. So,
Good stuff.
See everybody out there next week.
Appreciate that. Thanks, Brian.
You don't know when to quit, do you, Griswold? Chips. Changing 500! Whoop!
Okay, Brian. Where the fuck is Casino de Heikel?
You know what?
With all due respect, I'm losing my patience.
I know.
This is
I
me
know.
at about a 4. All right? You don't want to see me get to an 8.
Oh, easy.
Okay. All right. Sorry.
Easy, Dragon.
Sorry about
Easy.
that. I am in your house. Okay. I'm sorry.
I got neighbors.
Yeah. Not anymore.
Everybody looking for a condo? People are moving out quick. But you know what? I got to put the lines out. As soon as I saw this segment, I'm like, oh, Jason's going to be pissed. Jason's going to be pissed.
Called accountability.
But I got a couple things here that we can talk about. When looking at our birdie count for the year, we're up to 8 birdies. We have 1 eagle, which actually is a hole of 1, is what it is. But speaking of hole of ones, Jason, I got a couple.
No, I don't. Oh, sorry.
A couple stats for you.
Okay.
Let's see what you can find. So, what is the odds of somebody getting a hole in 1?
Oh my god. Gosh, sorry, it's Good Friday.
Thought you were done working, didn't you?
When did I start working?
Sales guys.
Yeah. Okay. Let me think here. So this is like 1 in something, right? That's
Yeah.
what we're gonna do.
Yep.
All right. Well, what are can you tell me what the odds of winning the lottery are? Can I get that
Like
information?
the
Am I allowed
Powerball,
to
isn't that
ask
like
questions?
1 in like 175 million or something like that? I think is what it is.
Okay,
for
it's gonna
the-
be less. It's gonna be less than that. Okay, it's gonna be less than that. This is like per shot, like right?
Yeah.
Per shot. So it's like 1 in like 52,000.
Nope. No.
Am I way off?
You're way off on that one. Yeah.
That's a yeah. No, okay, tell me.
All right. So, for an amateur, the chance of somebody getting a hole in 1 is 12,500 to 1.
Oh, okay.
Is what it is.
So-
and a pro is way less than that. What do you think a pro would be?
A pro is gonna be like a third of that. I'm guessing, like 4,000 to 1.
A little lower, even 2,500 to 1.
Okay,
is a pro.
all right, I was closer there.
So they say that in average is about 1 in every 3,500 rounds for you to get a hole in 1.
3,500.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. So
Good.
pretty crazy.
I mean, that's 3,500 rounds. Like, that's a lot of fucking rounds.
I mean, it would take Tony 35 years to get a hole in 1 because he plays about 100 rounds a year. I mean, that's if you put it that way.
if you
You'd
started
play-
using his hips. Maybe.
True. 100 rounds a year would take you 35 years to get a hole in 1.
Oh my goodness.
On it, is what they're saying.
Gross.
But yeah, a couple other things that just reading up about it. There's about 450 million rounds that are played in the U.S. yearly, and they said approximately, and that's how they got that 3,500. So only 1% to 2% will get a hole in 1 on all those rounds that are played in the U.S. So Kurt is in the 1% to 2% club for hole in 1s in the year.
You
So
know,
nice
in,
job
in
there.
my eyes, before his hole in 1, Kurt was already in the 1-2% of people. So
You're too kind. You're too kind.
sometimes.
Yeah. And so I guess another trivia here. This is kind of so going back. I joined the league 12 years ago. So you have to think about math. You're good at this math. You're good at these questions. So how many shots have been taken on par threes since I've joined the league back in 2012?
Oh, gosh.
So I was going to say our
Like
first
total strokes on all the par threes?
there's just one shot.
One shot. Oh, how many
For one
tee-offs?
chances at a hole in one.
How many chances at a hole in one in 12 years in the league combined?
Yep.
Quick math. Okay, let's go.
Because obviously this is my first one I saw. So
Yeah. Okay, so there's like 3 par threes aside ish.
well, remember we only played 9 holes, right?
Yeah.
We only played 9 holes.
Oh yeah. Okay, so let's say 2. Okay, so 2, so 48 and 20 is 1,000 or 100. That's 1,000. Okay, so I'm gonna say 10,000.
10,000. You're really close. Nice. You're very good at these.
Quick math.
So what I calculated, for all the listeners out there, for 12 years, I'm thinking that on average we play about 20 weeks in a season. There's 2 par threes every week that we play. On average, we get about 22 players because people miss. Some weeks we have more, some weeks we don't. 12 years, that's 10,560 shots that were taken in a par 3. So if you look at that 1 to 12,500, we're almost right at that average.
Hey.
Since I joined.
That's funny. That's exactly how I broke it down. I was like 2 par threes,
Yep.
24 guys in the league, 20 weeks, and then I did that and then multiplied it by 12.
Exactly. See,
Wow.
you're smart.
Okay.
You're very smart on that.
Sometimes.
So, cool stat I found.
How are we pacing on the birdies?
So, birdie. So, what is it? We mentioned, 144 was the
144 is the total.
over-under.
Yeah.
So, right now we have 8. So, when you take out the average, we need about 7.5 per week to hit that. And so, we're already through week 2, so we should be at 14. So, we're under right now 6 birdies for the year.
And it's not birdies or better, right? It's just birdies.
It's birdies is what it is.
Okay.
Birdies is what they are.
So we're not counting your air quote eagle.
No, we're not
Hole-in-one?
counting the air quote one. No,
Okay,
it doesn't.
all right. So we got some work to do, boys. Let's go.
Yeah.
Pick it up. Good. Thanks for that. Appreciate that. All right, now I can relax. I know I'm not going to get asked a math question anymore. Speaking of math, muscle math, some of my favorite math, my partner Matthew. I gotta plug him here. I just felt bad for him on some Masters bets from last week. So he does a Calcutta with the club, and they bid on players, and then they get a chunk of the pot, right? So Aberg, he went bogey triple to finish, and he dropped to 7th.
Yep.
Right. So he missed out on $700,000 IRL dollars. Real money.
700,000?
700,000. That's what I heard. Aberg from his.
Oh, okay. I thought Matt lost 700.
Yeah, no,
I'm like, what?
I'm painting the picture. So Aberg in real life,
Yes.
he lost 700,000 on dropping a 7th. He went bogey triple. So Matt lost out on $2,000 because Aberg decided to play like me on the last 2 holes.
My golf partner Jordan also lost out on about $200 too.
I had an Aberg ticket.
I mean, Aber costs a lot of people money, I bet.
Well, congrats to you though. You hit on your Rory
Oh,
ticket.
yeah. Was it last week we were recording the episode, watching Rory? I'm like, all right, looks like Rory's got it. As soon as the back 9 hits, as I said last week, back 9 at Augusta, it's magical.
Oh.
It created a lot of drama. Probably some of the best Masters I've seen in a long time. Like I could have ever watched. I think
that was good for TV. They say you know how they say the NFL is scripted. Like that felt a little scripted. It's like he starts off double bogey.
Hey,
God.
Hit it in the water, and then on 15, I want you to hit it near the tree so that way you can draw it around and get it within 7 feet of the hole. But I want you to miss the eagle putt just because we don't want you to get too far ahead for drama. No,
we need you to do a reverse Bubba Watson.
Yeah, reverse Bubba Watson.
And draw it around there. But no, that's good, man. Good job on that. Yeah, I went 0 for 5 on my bet, so I don't really want to talk about that too much. But I can't believe I didn't even bet on Rory. I had the dream, woke up, just, and I still didn't bet on him. It was minus 200. That you see that line as a gambler, like that line sucks. If it was minus 150, I might have done it.
Yeah, we were watching. Remember how the lines were changing? He was up, like plus 100 when Bryson took it.
Bryson
and then
took the lead.
Then he took a 3-stroke lead, and then it was like minus 1,500.
Oh, next time.
I got it on Saturday at minus 125, so still not bad.
That's great.
Yeah,
That's great.
Yeah. So I'll take that, considering at the turn, I was like, all right, this bet is won. And then next thing you know, at 13, I'm like, wait a minute, I'm going to lose this? I emptied out my account in that entire bet,
I just can't lay that much juice. It just like irks me to lay that
I
much
didn't have that
juice.
much in there anyway, so it didn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, we're really talking about like, I think I lost less than $100 total. So I think we're going to be okay. But losing out on $2,000, sorry, partner. Yeah. That's rough. I feel for you, buddy. Still love you.
Yep. But no, good Masters.
Yeah, that was good. All right, well, I'm sick of talking about the Masters. Good job, Rory. But what about the RBC? We're watching the RBC right now. Siwoo Kim, I just took the lead over. So you got any action on this?
Well, I got Thomas and Siwoo right there. But
my boy. Oh, jeez.
Another signature event.
Just pushed the shit out of a putt. That was like, looked like Tony right there. He read it for 10 minutes. And just pushed the crap out.
I guess JT should have been using the lap putter. I heard those don't miss.
Ping.
So RBC, I got a bet on it. Or every week I have a bet in the next 20 events. I'm in this golf pool with Tony and Kurt, the Hips Don't Move duo. And we have to pick one golfer every week. Can't use the same golfer twice. And it's with 8 other teams. And it's where they finish in the money list. And at the end, whoever has the most money gets the pot. So we got Sanjay Im right now. And I don't think he's doing that great at the moment.
That's a cool little pool.
Yeah, it's one player.
It's almost like a hybrid of like a Survivor, but a rotisserie.
Yeah.
At the same time. That's nice.
Well, Sanjay's in tie for 23rd right now. But there are people that have JT, Russell Henley, and Scheffler who are all top 5. So
who did you have last week in that?
Last week we picked Colin Morikawa.
Oh, he did all right, right?
He finished like 20th, but 3 of the teams picked Rory, and now the Masters popped up to $4.2 million payday.
Oh yeah.
So we only have 300,000. So we're in the hole.
So basically, like you got to pick like 2 or 3 winners in this to like win.
Yes.
Kind of.
Yeah. So you got to get I think the guy said if you get at least 2 first places, you probably have a pretty good chance of winning. All the money.
Sure.
In there. But we still have Rory left. We still have Scheffler to use.
Sure.
But yeah, kind of.
Well, that's not even the Masters. Isn't even the biggest payday, isn't it? The players, or not the players? Isn't the biggest payday like the BMW like something like that?
Well, it's the FedEx Cup at the end. Oh, but it ends before that.
Okay.
Like that's like the $15 million.
I'm trying to think of the events, obviously the majors, but I'm trying to think of the events that have the biggest payouts.
Yeah, I mean they're all close now. They're all within that. Masters used to be the lowest, but I think they upped it.
Shout out to Tiger Woods. Really juiced those numbers up. Oh my god.
Yeah, but found an interesting fact about this course, the RBC Heritage or Harbor Town is what it's called. So it's a Pete Dye course, and when they were designing it, this course also has a famous hole that was designed similar to how Sawgrass 17 was designed on it. Do you have any info on how Sawgrass 17 came about?
No.
Okay.
I'm not. I could lie, but
yeah. So I'll just kind of go into it. So an interesting fact I found is that when Pete Dye was building this course, he had an issue on hole number 13. He didn't know what to do. He had what they call like architectural writer's block or architectural block is what he called it.
Yeah.
And he didn't know what to do. He had issues on some drainage holes and everything else he was trying to deal with. So his wife always helped out. So this was the second hole that his wife actually drew on a napkin of what it would look like and shaped it today. So his wife, Alice, designed 17, the island green, on like a napkin to say like, oh, just put an island right there.
Wow.
And then she also designed the 13 at Harbor Town. So it's a unique raised green with like a Mickey Mouse ears around, like bunker around the green, set down 4 feet with railroad ties in the wall of it. So it's very distinct, and people kind of know what this hole is. But
wow,
that's where one of his famous holes are because of his wife.
I think Alice has a dirty mind because if you think about Sawgrass 17 and you take an aerial view of it, it looks like a big ball sack with water surrounding it. So Alice, we might need you on the podcast to explain yourself. And what is this course called?
I've never had anybody explain or describe 17 as a big
Does
nutsack.
it not look like a big nutsack? Just hanging out in space, like, just
Yep.
sack out. So, I mean, it is. It looks. I'm calling it like it is. All right. What hole is this? At
Hole
RBC?
13 at Harbor Town.
All right, Harbor Town.
And you could see.
Let's see this.
So when I was looking it up, there's some stories of one guy. He's like, "Yeah, I sculled my bunker shot right off it, ricocheted off the railroad ties, and it almost killed my caddy because of these railroad ties."
Yeah. No, instead she made the bunkers look like a ball sack, an upside down ball sack, or Mickey Mouse ears.
Yep.
You pick.
True.
You decide.
It's
like art, it's open for interpretation.
Yeah.
Right?
At least we know we have one version that's clean for kids and one version that's for adults now in describing.
Yeah. You'll be PG, parental guidance. I'll be NC-17.
Yeah. So a cool fact I found. I didn't know that
That's
about
cool.
Harbor Town.
That's cool. Speaking of ball sacks, got two old wrinkly ball sacks with us here. Our guests, Sean Worrell and Ryan Dahl. Welcome, guys.
Welcome.
How we doing?
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for not coming empty-handed.
You got
Sean. Thank you, Ryan.
At least I showed up.
At least
That's true.
Yeah.
Shout
Two
out
for
to
3. That's. I think they call that a winning streak.
No, we need one more. We need
Okay.
one. I think it's 3. I think we have 3 as official winning streak.
Okay, before we get into some questions, we're going to talk about life. You guys both got exciting things that happened and are happening. We're excited to talk about and want to hear about from you guys. Also, before we do that, we need to hear a quick word from our sponsor who makes this episode go, and we really appreciate them. So we're going to hear a quick word from our sponsor.
Divorce Dad's Counseling Services. We get it. Divorce is tough, but you don't have to navigate it alone or with just a six-pack and your buddy Ryan, who says things like, just hit the gym, bro. Divorce Dad's Counseling Services. Call today for a free consultation.
We really appreciate our sponsors.
Yeah.
Ryan, don't you love our sponsors?
They keep the fridge stocked. And
Fridge stock.
they keep the fridge stocked, and it's good to have everybody on.
Beauty and the Beast. Here we go. Beauty and the Beast. Okay, give the fans an introduction of who we have with us, because these are very important people to our league. They're veterans of our league, the OG Warriors, as this episode's called. So please introduce us.
All right, so start off Sean here. We have a handicap of 14.2. His golf league individual record is 31 wins, 20 losses, and 6 ties. His average TGL finishing spot is 11th. How many championships do you guys got? How many?
Uno.
One championship. One championship. Okay. And what year did you guys join the league?
I joined in 2001.
2001.
Yeah, 2002 for me.
2002. Jeez, that's a while ago. Little about Ryder Cup stats. So Sean is 48 wins, 23 losses, 9 ties.
Better than most.
14 of 20 events. He's won the cup, an 8-time captain with 6 wins.
Can we repeat that for a second? I just want people to digest that.
I mean,
14 out of 20 events.
He's been on a winning
team.
And 6 of 8 when he's a captain.
6 and 2 as a captain. That's fucking
Pretty
impressive.
crazy.
That's very good.
We get after it.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Then we'll jump over to Ryan here. Ryan,
Should have
handicap.
brought the trophy.
15.5 handicap. His record for individual wins is 32 wins, 27 losses, and 5 ties. He also finishes on average 11th place in the TGL Cup there. Ryder Cup record 30, 36, and 14. He's also got 7 wins in 20 events on it. So we'll turn over to you guys if you guys want to just give us a little bio about what you do for work.
Well, beyond that, we just talked about Ryder Cup. I think we should discuss. Ryan and I were the last captains of Ryder Cup for the anniversary. I don't know if this is on the topic or the agenda for today.
Please, no.
We're just saying.
We're winging
it. It was a good time. Remind me, was it our 20th events? Is that what it was? So, in memoriam of our 20th events, Ryan and I were captains against one another. It was close till the end. It kind of got blown out the door there in singles, but that was fun.
Yeah, it was the tale of the nines. I think we were close early, and then you guys took a big lead going into lunch, wasn't it? Or was it the opposite?
I thought we come out gangbusters in the afternoon, but it wasn't like tied.
Yeah, it was tied after the scramble. Then you guys took a big lead at alternate shots for some.
Right.
Then we came back a little bit in the best ball. We won 2 more matches with a 4-2 in the best ball, and then singles where you had like 1 or 2 extra wins. So it's the alternate shot that really
Got us.
Brian got me in singles though, bastard.
That's always a point of contention.
Tarnishing my fantastic record.
Yeah. Sean has 5 losses and 1 is to Ryan in singles. And
It's going to happen.
it's going to happen.
It's going to happen on the back nine every once in a while, huh?
Yeah.
We love the Barry for that back nine. But
Back nine
for whatever
bandits.
reason, my team did not like the back nine.
No, they
as much,
didn't.
No,
this year. But
I didn't help you at all. I gave Ryan a freebie win on that.
we sent you to the car, I think, after
Yeah,
You weren't
I couldn't hang out with everybody.
Yeah.
You told me this.
Sit in
You
the
and
car
Rob were
with the
like,
windows
go straight
up.
to your car and sit there.
Yeah.
Put them in time.
Don't crack the window.
Don't even open the window.
Don't even look at me.
You don't even get any beverages, any water.
Don't breathe the same air as me.
The second time I was really mad at Brian Heikler at a Ryder Cup event.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, when he was in
When you canceled last
California
minute.
or
Yeah, in
Washington,
Washington
State
for
or
a
whatever
fire.
it was.
Yeah,
No show.
We were co-captains. I remember.
he bailed.
I remember getting back into cell service like later that evening.
That's the
And
best
next
story.
thing I know, all I see is like text coming through. Is like, we're up. Hell yeah. We're winning at the turn. We're down. I fucking hate you. Don't ever come back.
Yeah, that was it.
It's like, oh man, that was the most emotional roller coaster right there.
Was that the Ryder Cup that Justin Anderson almost got into a fight with that old guy
Jamie.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
I heard about that.
after the round?
Yeah, everybody wanted to punch
he was
him in
ready
the
to
mouth.
swing.
I'm guessing that's why that guy doesn't come back and play
Oh
with us.
my!
Huh?
They
Not
were-
any longer.
They were hot.
Well, all right. Well, let's cool the temperature here a little bit.
Sorry, we got off.
No,
off
it's
tangent
okay.
There.
I love it. I love it. Ryan, tell the people what you do for work.
Work for Allstate Insurance. Just celebrated 26 years. Claims leader there.
Nice.
Yeah. Remote work. Don't have to ever go back to the office. So pretty good.
Nice. Sean, same question.
Also, an All-Stater. Just hit 24 years earlier this year, and I had a pretty delightful 6 months there, where I had no direct reports, but that's ending because I'm hiring a bunch of people right now. So we're about to get super busy. But I work in the project and design space on the quality assurance team.
That's great. Well, I feel like I'm in good hands around you guys. So
This is good.
we have that going for us.
We've got
That's
that
nice.
going. Yeah.
Okay, we got to talk about some recent current life events before we get into the golf questions. Sean, congratulations on your recent marriage.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers,
Cheers.
gentlemen.
Looks
There you
like
go.
counseling services work quickly.
So did.
Make sure you check them out.
Sponsor works.
Tell us where it was, what you did, what's his name? I mean, what's her name?
I deserve that.
Yep, all
Fun
the
story
things.
is I joke with my oldest son. He's got a crush on a girl at school, but he won't tell us who the person is. So I joke with him like, if you're not going to give me a name, I'm going to refer to this person as DeBrickashaw.
Brickashaw Ferguson.
So at dinner, that's what we say. How's DeBrickashaw? And he's like, fuck you, man.
Oh, that's gonna work. He'll crack.
He will.
Eventually he'll
It's
crack.
been like a month solid, and he hasn't cracked yet, but I feel like it's going to come.
That's great.
But my wife's name is Michelle. She works for LinkedIn. We actually met on Tinder a couple years back, and we just got married 2 weeks ago in Park City, Utah. We're ski bums, so we love it. We went out there and skied the mountains and had a really small, quaint wedding, only 35 people, and we got a little bit of snow on the day of. My kids were there. They stood up in the wedding with their suits and their Air Jordans, and it was delightful.
Nice.
Was Brickashaw there?
DeBrickashaw was there in thought, but
Okay.
not so much there in physical presence. So
That's awesome.
I've yet to meet dear DeBrickashaw.
That's awesome.
Good job.
That's great. Congratulations. Good for you. Ryan, you've also got some great news.
Yeah, baby on the way.
In fact, you're on call right now.
Yeah, right now.
As we're recording
Might have
this,
to
you are
leave any
on call.
moment.
Yeah.
So we might want to get through these questions. But the baby's coming.
Baby girl on the way.
Baby girl.
Awesome.
First girl.
First girl.
Girl dad.
Yep.
Girl dad power.
Yeah, cruise 2 is going to be 2 in May, and baby girl on the way. Real close in the birth dates.
Wow.
But yeah, super excited. Just been busy getting everything ready. Just as everybody knows, dad life, putting furniture together, painting rooms, and getting ready.
I was painting a room today before I came here.
Yeah.
That's why I was a few minutes late.
I always say my 2 favorite times are when I'm with my kids and when I'm not with my kids.
That's true. It is true.
Runs the gambit.
And the best, obviously, when you're a parent, like everyone gives advice, like you talk to, right? The best advice I ever got as a parent was 2 things. Being a parent is hard for good parents, so it's a little sentimental, and they're not made of glass.
This is true.
Those are the 2 best pieces of parenting advice I've ever gotten.
Very good.
The best piece of parenting advice I ever got was actually by our pediatrician when my oldest, Jimmy, was born almost 15 years ago now. And we walked out of his first appointment. He was a preemie, so it was a little rocky there for a few weeks. And she said, look, everyone's going to call you up and give you advice and tell you what to do, and just smile and say, hey, thanks, that's a really good idea, I'll give it a try. And then she's like, go home and do whatever the fuck you want. Verbatim, that's what she said. And it's the best advice ever. Be your own parent, raise your kids the way you want to, and let them rock and roll.
100%. You could read all the books and do all that, but I that's another thing. Like, you're going to figure out what works for you. Mm-hmm. If you just shower the kid with love and just pay attention, just give them your attention and give them love, they're going to be okay.
I don't give them love. I give them firm grip to the back of the head and say, listen, motherfucker.
That's why you needed a brick shot. Keep shit in line. But that's awesome. We want to hear about your guys' current events. That's exciting.
Yeah,
That's
thanks.
exciting. I'm happy for you guys.
This is also golf suicide, right? So they say your worst golf years are the year after you get married and the year after you have a kid. So Ryan and we're going to be swimming upstream here this year.
That couldn't be truer. I was an 8 before I had kids and I got married. And I think I don't want to talk about
Couple have followed suit in the league as well. Handicaps have increased.
Mr. DePartolo.
Yeah.
He's
already gotten
he's gotten plenty of shade in this episode.
We need to stop talking about it.
No, we're going to continue.
No, we love Tony, but the stat
this is all from love.
The stat I heard at the clubhouse last week was someone was like, "Yeah, I looked at your year in review on Grint, and it said your handicap peaked on April 3rd."
It was start of the season last year. It's the lowest handicap that you had.
That's not good.
No.
Oh my gosh.
He played well the other day. He just had a one bad hole and then got a little squirrely on the last one. But he shot, 43?
Yeah.
It's probably that emo music.
Oh my god.
Anyway,
Oh, man.
All right.
That's a subject for this podcast for sure. Music on the golf course.
Let's get into some questions here for you guys.
Okay.
So this is for both of you. How have you prepared this off season to get ready for league play?
You want to go first or you want me to go first?
Does YouTube videos count?
Sure.
Honestly.
Actually.
Yeah.
Like YouTube, right? Not you jizz?
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, the clubs went into storage in October after Lake Geneva. And then they came out whatever that week was when we played Turnberry a couple weeks
Just
before.
you and I played the Berry together, yeah.
That's when they came back out. So the actual practice never happened.
That was a really long
one
way to
warm-up.
say nothing.
Nothing.
hey, just like you bought the 2K 2.5
PGA 2K5.
Yeah. Ryan looked at YouTube videos to hone in the mental game.
You know what's funny is they
that
don't.
shit works for the sand.
did.
We got bunker things going on over here.
And no more problem.
In a very
You the
good
Beast
way.
have some bunker problems?
We used to.
We
used
did.
to.
We
Not
did,
any longer.
But,
Bunker Boys. Maybe a name change. Could be.
Bunker Boys.
That,
I don't know. I
That's
think
a good-
Beauty and the Beast is probably here to stay.
well, we'll see when I get to question 2.
Fair enough.
All right, Sean, same question for you. How have you prepared?
So I don't prepare on purpose. When the season's over, come October, November, depending on if I go on the Arizona trip, I put the sticks away, I pull the skis out, and I don't even think about golf. It's a complete and utter reset until the next season starts. And this is usually good because I typically peak around August, around Ryder Cup. And then I just kind of fiddle fuck around and stumble home at the end of the season. So I put them away and I don't even blink.
No simulators.
No new
No
clubs,
Top Golf.
nothing.
Man,
I should try that.
I
Not
skied.
even the golf show.
you are
this
doing
year.
that, don't you?
PGA 2K5 though.
Oh.
But I should do that.
Don't you do a league?
Well, I was doing a golf simulator league. every year, but they didn't do it this year. Me and D'Lo, but that's fine. Or he lied to me, and they're actually doing it. He's playing with someone else.
Yeah,
I don't know.
he probably dropped you.
Probably. It's likely.
Him and Messler behind closed doors together.
Anyway, okay. So, who is Beauty and who is the Beast?
Depends on the day, but
Depends on the
Ooh,
day.
open for interpretation.
no, I mean, I think it was your idea for the nickname, wasn't it?
It could have been.
I mean,
It's a long time ago.
look how handsome he is.
Look at that.
Yeah,
Ryan's always been the beauty, and I've always been the beast, mostly because of my competitive nature and sour demeanor on the golf course.
In years past,
that.
I would just get past it with a beer,
Or
chugging.
7.
Just to calm the nerves. Sean would not talk to someone for 4 holes. And you could see that it was just burning inside of him. And so what I would usually do would be like, when he would then hit that 4th bad shot, I would turn to him and be like, you're terrible at golf. You suck
being a
so
psychopath.
bad.
This is the true story. He'd
And
be like,
then-
what the fuck are you doing?
I would just tell him how bad he was. And then, like, maybe out of spite or something,
Guys
he
always
would
gonna
just
fight
hit
probably.
one. No, never fight. But he would just stripe one. And be like, oh, okay. Good. And then he'd come back and smile and crack his beer. He'd have one of those cigarettes, have a cigarette maybe, or a cigar. And then everything was fine. So,
Okay, so that's where it came from. Okay. Well, my question is are you going to be changing it since like Beast isn't very PC friendly, right? So I have a couple ideas about.
Why is it not friendly?
I don't know. Just let me tell you what I think my ideas are.
In what terms?
Maybe it's something a little more inclusive. Okay, here are my ideas. Let me know your thoughts. 2 players, 1 cart. Okay, brains and brawn, smooth and spicy, or this is my personal favorite: hard shell, soft hands. You like any of those?
Not really.
Nope.
Shut down.
you know what?
Shut down.
You lost me at inclusion.
You lost me.
Well, did you lose Sean at inclusion? Because, he, him. So, okay. All right, fine. I tried my best.
All right.
What do you got for him, Brian?
Yeah, we got some
go.
we got some golf questions for you. So what is your most memorable golf moment?
One moment?
Yeah.
Just one.
Well, I mean, you can sum it up for 2.
There's
but
so many.
It's fine.
I mean, there's the time we got into the fight
We have a time
at,
limit, but
at
That's
horse
not a fun.
souting.
That's not a fun go.
No,
Well, that
it's
was more
not.
fun than anything.
it's more.
I don't know. I think for me, when Ryan and I won our championship, it was to set the stage, right? We had a little bit of a lead, and
This is at
Poplar Creek, and we get to number 8, and it's a par 3, and we both dunk it in the water, and we lose number 8, give up 2 points to old Mikey and Vito. So then we're all tied. No, I think we were down.
And the sun was setting really fast.
We were tied going into 8, and we gave it up, and then we're down 2 points going in the last hole. But I think we only had 1 loss that whole season, so we were the number 1 seed. We had that tiebreaker, and we knew we both had to win the hole in order to take the championship. It's getting dark. We both tee off, and it's typical Sean Ryan bullshit, where Rye's right and I'm left. We're not even close to the damn fairway.
100 yards apart.
Yep. So we go to him first, and he's got actually a pretty good look from the rough. I don't know why I remember this so clearly. I can't remember anything else. But Rye sticks. Were you you were on the green, right? Or you right in
and it was
front? Or were you
it was
fringy?
like 190 on the top of that par 5 bunker, the fairway over.
Fairway.
The wrong hole.
Just throws a dart in there.
Just on the fringe, yep.
Yep. And then we go to the left to my ball, and I have the classic big break shot where I got a skinny tree right dead nuts in front of me, and I got to choose either left or right. And I think I hit the draw, or tried to hit the draw.
Draw swing came out.
Draw swing came out. I got it around it, and it one-hopped on the green, and it popped over into some rough, just long. So we go up there, and Mike and Vito were, I think one of them was on, one of them was off. Keep in mind, we have to win, and I don't remember the strokes, but it didn't really matter. So I go up first, and, it's getting dark, so not really a whole lot of time to mess around. One practice swing, chip it, one hop, rolls in.
Birdie.
Chipped in for birdie. And then I think it was Stevens then chips on, and then Dahl stands up there with his putt from the fringe. It's probably like 15, 20 footer, and he Dranos it, birdie. Vito throws his putter. He's like, this doesn't even fucking matter anymore. And we took the last hole, birdie, 10-10. We won. We left, went out to the parking lot, and we turned on All I Do Is Win so fucking loud. And
Nice.
That was the pinnacle. This is what, 15 years ago almost now.
God, wasn't it?
Yep.
Love that.
They've been in the championship. Mike, they were in the championship a while. I know me and Jordan. That's when we beat them.
I used to call them the Buffalo Bills in some of the
They
chats
were in
that I used
there
to do.
a lot from what I remember.
Super
That's
consistent.
awesome.
Great guys. Actually, I miss those guys. Those were really good guys. Yeah, I could. Yeah, that's one of mine as well. Just because of how it ended, the birdie finish to win the championship was pretty awesome.
Yep.
The hole in one on 14 at Turnberry was great. That was with Jordan and Rob and Sean.
One hop.
Play started. We teed off on the back. Storm's coming.
Yeah, it was rainy.
One hopped in for the hole in one, and the storm came the next hole, and
After he made like a 9 or something. Because you were
yeah,
so jazzed up.
yeah, right. And the thing about it was
Sharp dog right now.
on where 13's green is right there, and so we go nuts for the hole in one, and there's a 5-some behind us of guys in their 30s. Storm comes, lightning. Everybody has to go back to the clubhouse. My bar tab, because then they came in. You're the hole in one guy.
The hole in one.
I think the bar tab was like $600.
Yeah.
Nice. They got
Kirk off easy.
Hole in one by proxy there.
Oh, I
Yeah.
mean, there was people on the green right behind us when it happened.
Yeah.
They're like, hole in one, and they weren't going there ordering drinks and stuff.
Drinks, everybody,
Yep.
appetizers. That one costs some money.
The price you pay. And back then, $600 was,
A lot of money.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
It's like $1 million.
I would have been there unless I had to freaking work that day. It sucked.
We enjoyed Jordan's presence, Brian.
We did.
That's great.
Jeez. Last time you guys were guests. But, all right, that's awesome. I guess next question I have for you guys is, what makes you guys both a good team? And is there something that you would like to see Sean do differently, or vice versa, Ryan do differently on the course?
On the course. And what makes us a good team?
Answer that one first. What makes you guys a good team?
Yeah.
Why are you guys good together?
I mean, Ryan and I have known each other for a long time. It's really since I started with Allstate all those years back. So since 2001 is when we met. And we became partners, I forget what year that was.
I think it was 2005.
Sounds right.
2005. So 20 years right now.
20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
And, I mean...
So that's it? You're old, that's why you're good?
No,
I mean,
well,
we both probably think about it differently. The reality
You're
is
just old.
Rye's one of my closest friends,
Okay, there it is.
if not my best friend. And, there's nothing that's going to happen on the golf course that's going to tarnish that relationship. So when he says, you fucking suck,
Yeah.
I don't take it personally. But I really like that we're able to compartmentalize, right? We have a lot going on in life, but we talk through golf very, very well as far as like how to approach it from a strategy standpoint. It's not just, ready, fire, aim. We dial in, and it's worked really well over the last. We had some bad years for sure, but the last handful we've been pretty stout.
yeah, the
Good,
games
always
are,
there.
the way we score is different, but the scores are similar,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
So how we get to that number is always, totally different, but we seem to, be a couple shots off here and there. But the communication on the golf course is what we actually enjoy, I think, is talking through each one of them. So, like you mentioned with the updated team name, the two bros, one card or whatever.
2 players, 1 card.
Yeah.
Inclusive.
Two bros.
Inclusive. We need more DEI training.
But, we love riding, and it's to catch up on the week. It's to see how everything's going personally, but then actually, when we get to the golf ball, it's, what are we looking at here? And
I really think the key is the 9 before the 9, because when we do the 9 before the 9, we talk about life, how's things going, and then when we get to the match,
Kind of get that out of
we,
the way,
we
so
dial
to speak.
in. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I think
So-
Matt and I can maybe take a page from that book. Because, we have the best friend thing going on, too, right? We can
Sometimes it
literally
doesn't seem that way, but
literally say anything to each other, usually. Well, I also know when to not say anything.
not depressive.
Like when clubs are getting thrown, there's nothing, can't say anything.
Yeah.
Don't even touch them. I can't even look change direction. I just got to be this way.
Brand can't even look at you right now.
Yeah, he's just got to figure it out, you know? So, but we could probably take some notes. We could take some lessons from them, I think. So, all right, what do you want to see each other suck less at? I mean, you know, how Brian said it.
Suck less at?
Yeah. What do you want to see the other person do better?
On the golf course?
Yeah, what do you want to see him work on?
I think for Rye, it would be getting out of a rut quicker, right? We all go through those where you hit a bad shot. But if he's having a bad driver day, it really gets bad for you. And it takes you 6 holes to get out of it instead of 3. Yeah. That would probably be, like, how do you get it? I mean, we're all going to have that, but how do you get out of it a little bit quicker?
I like that. Felt real.
Yep.
Ryan? Now you? For Sean?
He's like, don't miss 3-foot putts.
Yeah. That's good. Pick it up. You can't do that.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. You know, Sean's playing well, like, to start this year right now. I mean, shit, he just came off of a 40. Mm-hmm. You know, he picks it up pretty quickly, and Sean. The thing that I think why we mesh so well is that Sean's pretty. Even though he can get mad and quiet down during the round, is that he's even keeled throughout the entire round. There isn't a lot of ups and downs. So, you know, we've been partners for 20 years for a reason, and I think that's being that comfortable is that, I mean, where everyone's going to hit the bad ball. Yeah. Everyone's going to hit amazing shots, you know. So,
all right. Well, you could be a politician. That's fine.
I mean, I don't know. What are you going to say? Putt better?
Putt better.
You know what?
Yeah, that would have been better.
No,
that would have been.
Well, we just talked about the bunker. He was terrible in the bunkers.
Oh,
Listen, just talk.
Ryan gave me a little lesson in the bunker right before last week's round, and it applied on 2 holes, and I hit 2 really good shots.
Fantastic bunker shots.
Okay.
So I mean that, I guess, but I mean, I don't know. It's just kind of like nitpicking. It's like, oh, Sean, you what suck?
Wear
like
cuter clothes.
Don't wear black.
Yeah, stop wearing black.
We like black.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yo, that's the only thing I see Sean is black.
All right, you guys are made for each other. Let's get into the next
I'm a
segment.
fat guy.
Sure.
Okay, so this segment is called Dialed or Delusional. So we're going to give you a hypothetical. Last week it was the Masters hypothetical.
Sure.
So now we're at P Hills, okay? So you're at Palatine Hills. We're going to use last week's pins as the marker.
Okay.
So you're line 1 on the furthest part of each green to the pin of last week.
Okay.
What are you shooting on 9 with last week's pins? Line 1 on the green.
You mean line 0?
Nope, line 1.
Your line.
So that would be your tee shot. Let's just say every tee shot you are on the furthest part of the green. What are you going to shoot on 9?
27.
27. Okay, so that's
3 putting every
Pretty
3
aggressive.
putt
Yeah, but some of those.
no 2
or
putt.
2 putt everything.
Some of those spots are hard.
1.
Like,
I mean,
it's
think
hard
of
to two-putt.
9, the back left corner being over the front of the green.
Hammer it. I mean, it was right. I mean, it was
Hammer the over.
Chipping.
It was right towards the back edge. Hit it to
True.
the back edge. It was uphill.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe. I mean,
27's wrong, but that's fine, Sean.
I think you birdie.
9 under par.
You both
No,
birdie
7
both
under,
par
maybe.
5s, and
Yeah.
I think both par 3s you can 2-putt from almost anywhere. I'm going probably 32. I think you make 2 birdies in addition to the par 5s.
Okay. That's good.
Fair.
Right in my head when I asked that, I was like 34 would probably be my score.
2 under.
I just think 2 under. I don't know. But putting I'm better at, but being the furthest part to it, that changes it.
I'd say probably 30. I'd say
30?
yeah. Some of them were pretty easy. Some of those
30
were
for you?
Were pretty.
You
difficult.
bought a new putter in the middle of a golf trip. You're not shooting 30 from the farthest point of the green.
Oh, Ryan's got you
I'm-
on 3 strokes, so
Yeah, that's
good
why.
game. Good game.
That's why.
Ryan excels at putting.
Yeah, that's why he got.
That's like
that's why the score is
Me and
equal.
him are pretty good at putting.
34 for you seems a little.
Yeah, I'm being a little conservative.
little high considering
Maybe these-
putting's your strongest.
Maybe these Yinglings are working. I don't know.
But-
Okay, now let's ask him the question about.
Little fantasy score. We'll do that one.
No. Save that one last. Ask him the question about what's changed and the history, because I think this will give a good broad stroke of the league over the years.
So this question is all around. A lot of our members are new. I mean, I think besides me and Jordan, or you guys and me and Jordan, everybody else, last 5 years they've been in the league.
Mm-hmm.
So how has the league evolved from when you guys first started to where it is now, Elitist Golf League, how did, because you talk about how there used to be 2 different divisions, how one guy didn't even hit it over the water, he just like picked it up and like ran, like went over and said, just give me a 10. Like, so how has it changed? Like, what are some kind of cool stories that you guys had, and from start to finish, or from then to now?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, the old days there were 2 flights, right? There was an A flight and a B flight. And of course, when we started, we were 20 handicaps and squarely in the B flight.
Oh yeah.
And that was I don't remember how many teams were in each. Was it 10-10 maybe 20 total?
I think at most we had 20 total teams, but a lot of years it was like 8 and 8 or 8 and 10.
Yeah,
20 teams. Wow.
and the B flight was a B flight. I mean, the remember what's the 2 ladies, Vanderwood and someone, and they would cheat all the time and win.
Lisa Vanderwood and the other one, they got really pissed at you and James.
Oh, they used to cheat. Well, they would hit it into the woods.
To Brickershaw's mom.
And then
Yes.
and then we would of course be just as bad, right? So we were hitting it all over the place.
Yeah.
And we saw her hit it into the woods many times. And then she was hitting shot 2 miraculously every time from the fairway.
What'd you get? 5.
Excellent. So
Bullshit, Mary.
well, and I think her husband was a director.
And he was an A flight. He was good. He was like a 5 handicap.
We were 21, 22
Yeah, we
years
were
old,
young.
so we couldn't say anything.
Yeah, you were just like happy to be in the
Yeah.
We're just happy to be here.
Well, thank
We're
you
20
for having
handicaps,
us,
I don't know.
Yeah.
And then that changed. We didn't get rid of the flights. I think that happened with
I was
Dave
on
Anderson.
the board though.
Yeah.
Early. So we shrunk teams. Remember, like the claims group slowly took over the whole league.
Yeah.
And the flights went away by virtue of just not having enough people to have.
Sure.
I mean, 40 people in a golf league.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
The tee times were stacked up for an hour and a half.
Right.
And
What were the lowest handicap? You said there were 20s were some of the higher. What was the handicap range of that play with 40 people?
one guy was a 1.
Okay.
And then another year, this guy, remember the older guy? And he worked for Encompass. And they let him play in the Encompass Pro-Am. And he played well. Like, he went out there and shot, 8 over or something with all the pros for like a senior tour event.
At the Glenview.
Yep, we went to that
Yeah,
tournament
Glenview
when he was
Country Club.
playing. We saw him.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember before it turned to Elias, the lowest was like a 1 handicap.
Okay.
The interesting thing back then is that we didn't have a bracket, like a tournament bracket, right? And we didn't have a win-loss record. So the way the standings were tracked was you just got whatever points you got that week. And then it was an overall aggregated points was how the standings were set up. So if you won 12-8, we got 12 points. There was no win-loss. And then each week they stacked. And to me, speaking of that guy what was that guy's name? Rudy's partner?
I'll think of it. Keep going.
Was it Tony Vivacqua?
Tony Vivacqua?
Okay.
Thank you. Yep.
So the rule's always been a max 10 on every hole. And these motherfuckers will go out and shoot 90-90 as a partnership, as a pair.
Both of them.
They would both just like get to 10,
Just say
and then they
Rudy.
would just pick up. Like Rudy would have his little clicker, and he'd be in a bunker, and thunk, click, take 2 steps, still in the bunker. Thunk, click, take 2 steps.
But even better was that Tony
Yeah.
wouldn't get to most greens and be walking up, and we'd be waiting, and he'd say, "Oh, yeah, I got a 10." Before he got to the green.
In the early Tony Rudy days, if you didn't beat them 20-0, you lost points against the field.
Right.
The overall, like you had to go 20. If you won like 18-2, you lost 2 points against all the other folks in the field.
Yeah.
Tony must have really hated his wife.
I hated a lot of things.
To be like, I got it. I'm shooting 90.
But
He was.
I don't care.
But like what Sean was
care
saying
about
with the brackets then is that there was showdowns.
Yeah, you would have a showdown week
So 1 versus 2, 3 and 4,
Okay.
so on down the line.
twice a year. Mm-hmm. Isn't that where I think that's where you played those ladies 3 weeks in a row?
Brutal.
And they were so mad
It's so brutal.
because they were slow too.
Terrible.
Oh, man.
I'm sure very nice people.
Yeah,
But
Maybe.
we were. It was different animals back then.
After hearing all that, I feel like how we have this league set up has been a trial.
well, the unfortunate thing, so when we came in, Dave Anderson, Dave Buck, a couple of those guys, they had been in the league for 25, 35 years.
Yep.
Right? So this golf league that we currently run has been around forever.
Probably 50
Right.
years.
50 years.
Yeah.
like the Dave Anderson that.
No.
Not that. Not that.
The original Dave Anderson.
Well,
Okay.
the sad story about him is that he
died.
retired and then died.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, good. I'm glad that's not our DA.
yeah.
No, he taught me how to keep books. So we used to keep books literally in a notebook
Scorecard?
With-
Like scorecards?
No, like all the stats that Brian does, they were in a physical notebook
Oh, shit.
with a piece of paper, and I would send the email out, and I had every year it was like 2001. I had 20 books, and I got rid of them after a while.
Old school.
Just because like I'm not going to transfer all that stuff electronically. We're going to let it go. But
Yeah, right.
yeah,
Cool.
it was ancient back then, and plus, we drank a lot more back then.
Way more.
Oh my God, we had the Rye Sean 12-pack split, which was not 6-6.
Well, sometimes it was.
It was usually
Point of contention.
it was usually 7-5.
I like this.
We drank MGDs. Remember that? Yeah.
Oh,
Beauty 7, Beast 5.
no, it's good to see.
I mean,
know
hard
where the
shell,
golf league
soft
was.
hands. Sorry.
No,
Hard shell
it was a
fives.
shotgun under the bridge
Always under the bridge.
on 6 because things were not going well.
Yep.
That's great.
Shocked. No, it's good that the league's been around forever and just give people a perspective, even for me, like how long it's been going on. So thanks for sharing that. That's awesome.
Hearing that though, like I think we took the best parts of that league, like how it evolved, right, and made it what it
Well,
is
we've
now.
always tried to be listening to what people are saying and
Right.
make those proper tweaks. I mean,
Yeah.
that's been the key to all of this. And I mean, Brian took on a lot of the legwork. What,
Take a
5 or
shot.
6 years ago?
You
I
don't
mean,
evolve,
with
you don't adapt, you die.
with the tracking of all the data that he keeps and
Oh,
everything
for
else.
sure.
And so,
Yeah.
you know, we stay close enough and have enough conversations to make sure that, you know, people like Dave, who always has a problem. Or,
Wait, hold on. Let's go into that.
no, I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. But
He's opinionated, you know.
and a lot of times he's right.
It's good though. No,
Yeah.
I'd like it. I like it when, and you're right though. This is gonna sound like stupid and PC, but when everyone has a voice and if they want to be heard, you guys do take it into consideration. And if it's stupid, as a group, we'll be like, we're not doing that, but we heard and we talked about it,
Yep.
right? So
Many times
I think
we've done that.
that's important. If you're not adapting and evolving, you're gonna die, right?
I think that's one thing where number one, the league's gotten way more competitive compared to how it was, 15 years ago.
No one's shooting 90.
No. But the other thing is
The year isn't
like,
over yet.
I don't know that this is true. I don't know that
point.
people understand how much unhealthy time the three of us have put into it. Like, so for all the listeners out there, we would go to see our buddy Rob, and we should do stories about Rob on one of these podcasts at some point because there's enough to fill an entire hour. But the first couple times we went down there, we would drive, right? And it would be, 12, 13 hours?
12 hours
each
it
way.
was.
And the first 2 hours, we're just getting out of Dodge. We're waiting for the sun to come up because we leave at like 4 o'clock in the morning, and Ryan's like, Heichel, sit in the back, you motherfucker. So he would. And
Yeah.
then, we've had
That's
a
really
couple
tricky.
coffees. We get through our first gas stop, and we would spend 8 hours talking about all things golf league, right? What was good last year? What was bad last year? Let's review the Constitution word by word. And, we're nerds, but we love it. And
We want to
we
just have
spent-
a good product out there.
100%. We want to
Yeah.
avoid any pain points from the prior season. So, we love to joke on Dave, but if there's a problem, bring it up, and then we can always address it for the next year. And I think we've done a decent job of that over the years.
I think decent is underselling. I think you guys have done a great job addressing those concerns, for sure.
Thank you.
Absolutely. No doubt. Ask them about the fantasy score. I love that question.
All right,
See how
so
close they are.
here's so we obviously every year we have that fantasy tab that shows what your best score is on every hole. Mm-hmm. So I've data that goes back 3 years now.
Okay.
What do you think your best? If you take your best score on every hole for the last 3 years, what would you shoot on it? So
For
what
18.
your fantasy score would be for 18 holes
For a 3-year aggregate?
Yeah.
for 3 years?
Okay.
P-Hills.
FP, yeah, PS.
It's not as good as I would think.
No,
I tend to
I'm
birdie the
definitely
same
over-
holes.
I'm over par.
No.
Oh, think about it, right?
Neither of you are over
Like,
par. You're both under
yeah,
par.
Yeah, both
We'll
under
give you
par.
that.
Think about it. You have 3 years to make
Yeah.
one par at 16 times playing
you
hole
have
one.
20
Or-
weeks to get a good score on that.
Yeah. Yes, I haven't made a lot
I
of
mean, I hope you'd be under
This
par.
is, and obviously this is net, right? So
No, this is gross.
Oh, this is gross.
Yeah, this is
okay.
gross.
Well, maybe that'll help.
I'm probably 64.
Okay, that's a good guess, Ryan.
I'm on cool. 69.
Great guess. Ryan, you're 64. Sean, you're 62.
All right, Ryan.
Oh, okay.
Ryan,
Yeah.
you are 64.
Okay.
And Sean, you are 62.
You are the father.
You are the. Yeah. So
I like that question.
cool little stat. Just
After we stop recording, I'd like to know what my career sport is, but I don't want to say it
That
out
used to
loud.
be a big thing that was kind of a point of contention. People don't really talk about it as much anymore. I'm glad you still track it because I look at it, but
it was in
Still
when
on
we
the
were, when
sheet.
we were in the office.
That's
it was
true.
something that came up quite a bit. And there was quite a few more All-Staters at the time.
Sure.
I remember. Was it Jordan? Jordan was always.
Jordan makes so many birdies. He's always up there.
Yeah, he was always.
Well, he has a lot of time between his shots. Go ahead.
whoa, come on. Whoa.
What? I thought this was a trust circle.
Yeah, it felt like it.
It is a trust circle.
Okay, good.
Jordan used to love that stat, that fantasy stat.
Yo,
Deal always looks at it now. Deal looks at it a lot. He always competes
Kind of
with
him
like,
and you and Thunberg that are kind of the
Yeah,
top of the
well,
dogs.
Jake's now in there,
Oh,
too.
We
yeah.
do still talk about it. There's no like incentive
Stroll.
or prize associated with
No,
it. right?
there
No,
used
it's
to be.
just-
There
we
used
should
to
we
be.
should bring that
bragging
back.
rights.
I think that, and it doesn't need to be a prize. It could be just like a trophy or something.
No, it should be that.
Or
A
what,
bottle
yeah,
of
whatever.
booze.
But something we could hand out
Yep.
at the awards for like the career, the fantasy score. I,
like
think
this.
because Matt and I talk about it, and like when we play. So if you guys are talking about it, like I think a lot of people are talking about it.
Well, you got to give the good golfers something that they can win since they can never win TGL Cup.
Yeah, they do talk like that too.
Bitches.
It was a really good impression
That's really-
of how they talk about it.
Well, Brian, write it down.
Yeah.
Yep, we'll roundtable it.
All right, let's get into the last part here of the show. I know it's sad. You guys are sad. Don't cry. It's the end. But this is called Strokes of Genius. Okay? Prediction of match outcomes. And so Brian's going to ask a couple matchups, 3 matchups to the guests. We're going to give who we think's going to win. We keep a track record. And Brian, I'll let you take it away and tell everyone what happened last week.
Yeah, so last week for the 3 matches that we had to predict, Jason went 2 wins, 1 loss. I went 2 wins, 1 loss. And our guest last week was Steve. He went 0 for 3 losses.
Thanks for coming out.
You know, good thing he was able to win on the course as an undefeated team. But the guys in the matches, not so much for Steve.
Wide left.
But for this week, we have 3 more matches here, and we'll kind of, whatever you guys think here, whoever wants to start. But the first match that we have is Different Strokes versus Front Porch Fun Bags. Now, do you guys know who is on each team? So Jason still has no idea who's on what teams.
Oh, I'm aware of
So-
Different Strokes from the last episode.
So Different Strokes is Steve and Maurice versus Jake and Chris.
I know who it is.
Because
Both-
they're different.
Both undefeated teams. So one is going to get a loss, or maybe one get a tie. We'll see. But what do you guys
Jason,
think?
did you ever get any clarification on the team names from last week, or still nothing, huh? Yeah,
No
I still-
idea.
Yeah,
You two, you have the same problem?
I don't know.
Dude, I'm telling you, he's been in the league for 20 fucking years.
I have no idea.
I'm telling you, it's a thing.
And
No one cares except their own team.
Yeah, that's it. When
It's
they
real.
when they send the schedule out without the actual names, I have no clue.
I always have to scroll right. I'm like,
I have no idea.
I don't know. What time am I playing at? Matt's like, who we playing? I'm like, 4:20. That's all I know, okay?
Not a clue.
All right, who do you
All right,
think's
so
gonna
who are
win?
we going against? Say it again.
All right, Steve and Maurice, Different Strokes versus Chris and Jake, Front Porch Fun Bags.
I mean, for one,
I'm gonna just say Different Strokes because we lost in the championship to Front Porch.
I get it.
So I'm going Different
Ooh,
Strokes.
spite pick. I did that last week. It worked out. I
Yeah.
picked against
Spike
King and
pick.
Duck.
I mean, I like those guys a lot. They're fun to play with and everything else, but they're not getting my choice.
Good.
I think Jake's in pretty good form, so I'm going to take the Front Porch Fun Bags.
Physically,
even though
do you want to expand on that?
I don't want to. Physically?
What about Jake's form? Do you like? What part of his form do you like?
I mean,
like,
what do they have? What y'all call it? Gut inertia?
Yeah,
GI.
GI factor.
Yeah,
The
GI.
factor.
They're there. But he putts so fucking well. It's irritating as hell.
Yeah, he's quick too.
Jason, what do you
He's
think?
been there for. Different Strokes.
Different strokes.
They're going to take advantage of their handicaps early on in the season.
Man, this is a tough one. I mean, I think different strokes too. Weather will be nice. Last week we played different strokes. Seen Maurice has really had some lessons, and
I'm telling you.
he would have shot probably like 45 that week if he didn't have like 2 8s or 2 9s. So I'm going different strokes for that one. All right.
When he shows up, there's nothing you can do about it. Just
Yeah.
take your L on the chin and move on down the road.
Yep.
And Steve's been playing good. He's got the off-season gains, seen lessons. So
Using his draw now.
yeah.
What's
All right.
What's match 2?
Next one, 3-putt specialist, which is Dave Steele and Ben Kennedy versus the King and Duck, Danny and Dave.
What did Danny shoot this last week?
55.
Ooh.
Not 47, if that helps.
That helps no one,
Ooh.
including Danny.
Well, I will say this. We're probably going to play the front nine again. I don't know. I think 3-putt specialists. I remember Ben Kennedy came through in the playoff last year. So it was I'm going to take them to upset Dave and Danny.
Picking Dave and Danny.
Dave and Danny?
I'm actually going to go Dave and Danny too, because aren't they winless? Were they one of the winless teams?
No,
Either way,
I don't
I'm taking
think
Dave.
they are.
I'm going to take Dave and Danny as a rebound. Danny's resilient. He's calm, cool.
Bounce back. It's supposed to be nice out next week, too.
Plus Dave Steele, porn name, right? Isn't that a porn name? Don't you agree?
It should be.
I think it is.
I am also, for that week, I am going to go with 3-putt specialists, I think. On there.
Are your picks changing based on our picks? Because
No.
maybe we should submit these picks before they pick next time.
No.
Because I feel like you're being influenced.
I am not being influenced.
I don't believe you. Next match.
I just think for handicap wise, early in the season, it seems like it's a lot to overcome, and people aren't in mid-season form. So I'm going with the handicap advantage there. All right, last one we have is I Like Big Putts versus Beaver Party.
That's another one of those team names I don't understand. I like big putts.
Is that your brother?
What does that mean?
It's my brother's team. Yeah, they make a lot of putts on the green. That's what
Big
that means.
putts?
Yeah, big putts.
You can't lie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who's which now?
So
See? It's a thing.
It's Tim Heichel versus Stroll and Tony. Oh, and Palumbo.
yeah,
Those-
Palumbo and Tim
Yeah, what do you got?
versus Tony and Kev.
I'm taking your brother.
Brother, okay.
Tim.
I am too. I think Tony played well last week, but when you're giving all those strokes to Palumbo and he just makes 5 after 5, like it's very defeating. And,
Yep.
If he makes putts,
And,
if
and
Dave,
did Tim play last week?
Tim played last week. He shot 48.
if Brian
good with a broken
could
foot.
putt
Yeah.
a little
Yeah.
bit,
Yeah.
It's healing. It must be healing quick.
I've seen Brian hit a couple shots, and I like what I see. I'm gonna take big putts too.
Ooh.
See, you're being influenced.
Yeah. See, now I am. See, that's what I mean. Mm-hmm. We should submit our picks before for sure.
I mean, now I have to go the opposite.
You
No,
see?
I'm going with my brother.
Just call it like you see it.
Oh, no one's taken
Oh,
Strolly and Tone.
actually, you know what? We should really redo that one because I have insider information actually on this event that I don't think Palumbo will be there.
Oh, that changes everything.
Bombshell.
So, does that change things?
I'm gonna stick with big putt. You know what?
Stick with the big putts.
I got
No,
faith in
because I
Tim.
think Tim can just be boring golf. Hit it in the middle of the fairway, get on the green, 3
It
putt
really
for a
phases
5,
up
and
too.
walk
You can
away.
say whatever. Like, this goes like I'm just do my shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll switch.
You're gonna switch?
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right, going for Beaver Party. That we explained their team name last week.
You want to recap it for those who didn't listen to
I don't
last
remember
week's
what I said.
episode? Okay.
A lot went on.
Shaved Beaver Party. All right. Good. That was fun. Thanks for that. Appreciate it. Hopefully you can do better than Steve, 0-3 last week. So
You have 6 guesses from the
Yeah,
guests.
you got a good
so
chance.
Hopefully there's one of them that's
you have
right.
a good chance.
We'll
Well,
beat them.
Steve picked against us, so we got him there.
There we go.
I heard something about us being
Whoa.
sandbaggers or something.
Yeah,
or
I don't
whatever,
know.
So I don't know.
You
That was-
Ryan
Ryan
did
we
pick
took it
different
down.
strokes though.
That was actually me who said the sandbagger thing. But anyway, we'll wrap it up from there. But we appreciate you guys coming out, being open, honest, and talking about the history of the league. We appreciate it. I feel like we talked about a lot today. Good golf, good Good stuff going on in life. Congratulations to both of you.
Baby's on the way.
I
gotta
love
go.
that.
We got
that.
E9 here
Let's
for
end
Ryan.
it up.
Gotta go.
And sign off. Divorce
right.
Dad's Counseling Services. We're here when dad jokes turn into sad jokes. See
Peace
you
out,
later.
everybody.
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
Than most. Better than most.
Just a bit outside. Here's the draw. 2, 1, the shot. That's the end of the game.